Hi, everybody. I'm Joan Raymond, author, editor, and writing coach. And this is A Heart for Writing, where we talk about everything writing to help aspiring and established writers. Today, my guest is Ken Shoemaker. Ken's a retired firefighter and the admin for the Authors Fire and Rescue Facebook group, which is dedicated to help authors write authentic fire and rescue scenes. A bit of Ken's background before we get started. He was born and raised on a farm, married to his wife, Kelly, for 41 years. He has, and I quote, two wonderful children and six amazing grandchildren. He graduated high school in 1977, then attended Wyoming Technical Institute for auto body repair, then worked in his dad's paint and body shop on the family farm. In 1977, Ken joined the fire service. After a move to Bloomington, he joined the Bloomington Township Fire Department. His department was one of the first to respond to mutual aid to the Unity Building fire in downtown Bloomington, which was one of the biggest fires in their city's history. Ken rose to the rank of captain and worked as a safety and training officer. He retired in 2006. He's a first-time author working on a series based on his 27 years of service. In December 2020, he and his daughter Tracy started the Authors Fire and Rescue group, which is on Facebook, which has just under 800 members. Welcome, Ken.
Hi, Joan. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem. First of all, thank you for your service. Thank you for all the things that you've done for us as a firefighter, first responder.
Thank you.
So I want to start with some questions, and I am going to make Ken the bigger side here. And I'm also going to put a quick little banner on the bottom there so you can know who he is for a little bit. Anyway, Ken, so when did you first discover you had a heart for writing the stories that you had experienced all those years of being a firefighter?
It was been several years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I got hurt. After I got hurt and could no longer work, I decided I had a story to tell, so I decided I'd tell it. And been working on it now at least 5 years, probably.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure you have a lot of stories to tell.
Got a lot of stories.
So as an admin of the Authors Fire Rescue Group, what questions do you see repeatedly? What the people that come in there, what questions are they asking? What do they need help on?
Most of them have been about car wrecks and some arson, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a few house fires, but mostly car wrecks and arson.
Mm-hmm. And you did something with arson. You were an arson investigator at one point?
I was a trained arson investigator. In our department, we worked with State Farm Insurance to help train their fire investigators.
Okay.
So we did a lot of training burns, not only that helps our department, but it helps State Farm Insurance to train their arson investigators.
So can you talk about arson investigation without giving away like all the clues that, some supposed arsonist might be listening to, but what are some of the things that give away an arson fire? I mean, or what do you look for when you're investigating an arson?
Well, we first eliminate the common causes: cooking, wiring, accidents, things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
A point of origin is a key in determining. Then we do a lot of lab work and testing. Mm-hmm. To determine whether they committed a crime or not.
Mm-hmm.
We follow burn patterns, charring in the wood to the location.
Mm-hmm. So you can tell that if a fire started in a plug or a plug-in, or
yes.
if it started
like from your phone charger or battery charger, or if it was an overload circuit or things of that nature.
Right.
Cooking's still the number one cause of fires.
What is?
Cooking.
My goodness, I would have thought smoking would be, but cooking.
It was for a long time, but cooking's kind of took over.
Oh, really? People just getting careless? Or
yeah, they go away and leave it and forget it and things get carried away.
Yeah. What about all those turkeys people make with the deep fryers outside? How many how many people have burned up a garage or a carport because of those?
Oh, been a few.
One thing I've noticed that you said a while back is that it used to be you had how much time to get out of a house compared to now? What was the escape time back then?
Was between 15 to 17 minutes. And
Okay.
today in a house, it's about 3 to 5 minutes.
And why is that?
Building construction is a lot to do with it, and there's a lot more synthetics and plastics in the house. It burns a lot hotter and a lot faster.
Uh-huh.
They use laminated floor joists that will collapse in 10 minutes or less under fire conditions.
Wow.
The average response time for a paid department and volunteer department is 10 to 12 minutes. 13 to 14.
So you better be outside making the phone call and not waiting for them to get there.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Or a neighbor's house or something. In other words, grab what you can, like the kids, and go. Yeah.
Keep your doors closed helps.
Yeah, I've seen that you said keep the doors closed at night. So that contains the fire, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Um, I know I've seen you write about this, or a lot of people have asked about this. And to me, I'm a very claustrophobic person, so this would be hard. But can you explain what it's like to go into a burning house, the visibility, the heat, all that kind of stuff?
The heat, it's blistering. Visibility is near zero. I mean, you can't hardly see your hand in front of your face. Um, it's very hot, and there's um, when you can feel your way around with your hands barely and
Mhm.
bump
How can
into
you
things.
tell? How can you find your way around in a house that you've never been in before? Do you just?
It's tricky, but we actually train to do search and rescue.
Mm-hmm.
So we follow. We usually go in and one guy stays close to the wall, and then they reach out and with our tools and hands. And
Mm-hmm. So you're in constant contact with, and do you go in teams?
yes,
Okay, always in teams, and always with oxygen.
yes,
And do you carry extra oxygen for possible victims, or do you share your oxygen with them?
we do not carry extra oxygen, and we do not share.
Really?
We're
So when
stingy.
you find somebody, you get them out ASAP then?
Yes, we do.
Huh. Yeah, I was in the scuba movies. They show them, sharing the mask back and forth. But
We do
and
train. We do train to buddy breathe between ourselves.
okay,
Um, we can unhook our mask and then hook it into each other's air tank,
mm-hmm.
then buddy breathe if the situation warrants it. If we get
Right,
lost,
yeah. How much air time do you have with a normal tank that you go in with?
normal tanks are 30 minutes, although there's a lot of departments are going to the 45 minutes,
Oh wow, okay.
and
How hard
some
is it to be inside a house for 45 minutes though?
that's
That would be.
tough. It can go pretty quick though with it. We can, if you're working hard in a hard fire and you've got a lot of stuff going on, you can. I've used a 30-minute bottle in 20 minutes or less.
Because you're probably breathing faster, right?
You're being harder and you're working hard and
Yeah,
sweating and
yeah. Um, when it comes to TV shows, I know some people say, "Oh, I watch such and such show, and that's how I write all my first responder fire stories." What TV shows actually get it right?
as far as fire, none of them, not even close.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Um,
Give examples. Let's just call them out. Give an example of a bad show.
Station 19, probably one of the worst.
Okay.
Chicago Fire has its moments. Um, what's the other one? I don't really haven't watched 911. I can't really say about it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of their
Wasn't they? Go
a
ahead.
lot of their
Sorry.
procedures and what stuff that they do just we don't do in the fire service.
Yeah. So it's more drama and,
More
you know,
drama, yeah.
and which ones get it right? I have a feeling I know which one you're going to say, but I'm going to let you say it. Which one got it right? Which ones get it right?
Um, Probably the years ago, a lot of younger people probably don't know. Emergency
Mm-hmm.
was one of the ones that really was close.
Mm-hmm. Station 51. Yep. Why did they get it right? What was so different about Emergency? Because I mean, we used to watch it all the time. So,
They actually had script improvement from the LA Fire Department,
wow.
which in a lot of the way a lot of like even Station 19 and Chicago Fire, they do have consultants on scene, but they're just there. They don't
Yeah.
really pay attention to them. It's entertaining.
Well, we're pretty close to the same age because I graduated high school in '76, so we're really close. So, we're both that age where Emergency was huge, and
Oh yeah,
um,
it's still popular.
oh yeah, yeah. My husband still watches it. He loves to catch episodes, and we have a friend that's a paramedic, and that's his favorite show. So with your department, did you had paramedics, firefighters, or were they what was your station made up with? Made up who were the personnel, who were the first responders in your station?
We had there was one, two. We had four EMTs, and I was the only EMTI for a long time,
Okay.
intermediate.
Okay.
I could do IVs and stuff. But when I first joined in '84, they would not allow us to, insurance would not allow us to treat patients.
Mm-hmm.
That came later.
Wow.
But then, of course, then we adapted the full rescue squad
Yeah.
and could treat patients on scene.
Right. Tell me about the guy that gets to drive the hook and ladder. The one with you got the guys inside the engine, and then you got the guy at the back that's steering the thing on his own. How
On the
much
tiller,
training? How much training does that take?
takes quite a bit actually, because you steer it the opposite direction.
Yep.
But we don't have any tiller trucks here in Bloomington or in the township.
Uh huh.
But I was an engineer on Engine 51 for 5 years.
Wow. Yeah, I know we have one of those, and we have a big hook and ladder here in Bakersfield. And you watch the guy in the back, and you can tell he's turning it the opposite way when they go around the corners and stuff. Um, I know you've talked about mishaps. Are you able to talk about like any mishaps when a fire engine might have gone into a lake or something weird like that, or is that not allowed to be talked about?
I actually had that happen.
No, I know you did. You told me about that once, and I'm curious if you don't mind telling the story. It's kind of
Oh,
interesting.
we were so lucky that nobody. I had three guys with me. We responded to the next town over. They had a house fire in one of the smaller subdivisions, and our big tanker won't fit on their street, so we have to relay pump.
Uh-huh.
And we took the other truck, and we were going to set up one of the big pond out here by the interstate highway to fill tankers. And I pulled up there, and I was driving, so I set the truck to pump water, and the guys got out and were getting the hoses and getting stuff set up, and the brake line broke.
Oh.
And I had already locked the transmission in the pump, so I had no way to stop it. And when I got out of the cab, I was in knee deep water.
Oh no.
when they came to pull it out, the red lights were still turning, but it was almost completely underwater.
Oh man. Total loss?
Yeah, they actually fixed it, but it was never right after that.
Wow. I guess they didn't have to worry about getting water though. It had more than enough water to pump out. So um any other funny stories, unusual stories that you can share that are appropriate to share?
We had, yeah, I think I've told this story a couple of times. We had a one late Friday afternoon. We were kind of all we had cleaning up after another. I don't know if it was a wreck or another call. We were a couple of us were still at the station. The fire phone rang. A dumpster fire. So we jumped in the old Ford, the engine 55, and it was about a mile. It was an old roofing. It was a roofing place on the other side of town.
Mm-hmm.
We rolled, and a couple other guys came and asked if they wanted the tanker. And I said, "Well, we're not there yet." But I rolled around in the corner. I said, "I can see smoke. You better bring the tanker." So we pulled back in there, and we figured just like a garbage rear load garbage dumpster. You find out behind your apartment building.
Mm-hmm.
We rolled around back through the gate and drove around back behind the building. We found a 40-yard roll off container filled with asphalt shingles was fully involved.
Oh.
So they brought tankers and we set up. I was standing there. They started pulling levers and guys were pulling hose. And by this time the battalion chief, he's standing there next to me and guys are yelling for water. And I'm looking at the pump panel. I can't get water. Why not? And it finally dawned on me I had pulled the tank valve.
Oh.
That's usually one of the first things I do is pull the tank valve so we can start pumping water, prime the pump.
Right.
He shook his head and turned around and walked off. Oh, we had another story. We had a trailer fire just around the corner from the fire station late
Oh.
Friday night. It was
Uh-huh.
raining, damp. We rolled up and there wasn't really a lot of smoke. There was an old guy, he was trying to light his charcoal grill with sticks and it was raining and wet and he was just creating more smoke than he was fire. And he was about 3 sheets to the wind.
Oh.
Well, I told him to go sleep it off. And
I'm sure alcohol has to do with some causes of fire, that
yeah,
people lose track of things, a barbecue gone wrong or something like that.
we had a few charcoal grills catch on fire and catch the decks on fire.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. We almost had that happen when we had a gas grill catch on fire and it flamed up pretty good and it ruined the grill. I mean, I shut off the propane. I have no idea why. I walked over there and shut off the propane. Thank goodness, because it would have caught the entire um, patio on fire. But so, Ken, I'm curious. What advice can you give, or would you give to an author writing to have an authentic first responder character? Like what are the qualities you want to see? What are the qualities that are cliche?
Yeah, you just kind of let them be themselves a little bit, but not, go in and save the whole world and go off by themselves and try and save everybody at once.
Mm-hmm.
I think we used to call them guys gung ho.
They were probably more dangerous to everybody else than
Oh
themselves.
yeah, exactly. Um, them, like I say, let them make mistakes and
Mm-hmm.
things of that nature.
What about scenes at the fire station? Um, I know that you guys make meals together, but you don't always get to finish a meal. So would that be a
Right,
realistic scene where they're cooking and have to leave everything just,
right in the middle of dinner. I know we've sat down to Christmas dinner before and had to leave. Didn't get
yeah,
to eat.
yeah.
Um, we do a lot of training at the station. At the station,
Mm-hmm.
played a game that we like to play. It's called Go Fetch.
Okay. Tell
We
me
all
about it.
sit around the conference table and you give them 5 minutes. You tell them to go out to one of the trucks and grab a tool and bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the best one to pull on the probies is go ask him for a hose stretcher. Some guys will fall for it, and some guys will reach over and grab the guy sitting next to him and pick up his arm, say, "Here's your hose stretcher." Some guys will go out to the apparatus floor and wander around for about 5 minutes and come back. And
That's funny. So probie is obviously someone that's brand new. Explain the name.
probationary firefighter.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted you to explain it. Yeah, but you call him a probie.
We call it probe.
Yeah.
Bob Bonanno and I were talking about they out on the East Coast. They call them boots.
Okay, right. I've heard that expression too. What's the hardest thing for a new firefighter to learn? Think of yourself. What was the hardest thing that you had to learn before you felt comfortable doing what you were doing? Or did you ever feel comfortable?
I think search and rescue and not being able to see anything and being in that blistering heat, I think was probably one of the toughest things.
Mm-hmm.
Learning how all the tools, different tools and what they did. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because some of them you can enter through a roof. I mean, I know you have tools to. I mean, I don't even know what the right terminology is. What's the terminology when you have to go in through a roof?
Ventilation.
Okay.
We vent the roof and we it coordinated attack, and then the hose team goes inside, and then then the search and rescue team comes in as close to the same time as possible.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Facebook group for a little bit. So you started the Facebook group a couple of years ago, which I found is a great resource. Plus, there's a lot of wonderful stories, a lot of wonderful, just from retired and current first responders in there. You have pictures of different fires, you have descriptions, you have tours of the different engines and all the different pumpers. Apologize, I don't have all the names right, but and then you have something called a go no go. Explain what that is.
That's from the incident command. The chief or the captain, whoever's in charge of the fire, has to decide when they first arrive if the buildings, how they attack the fire. If we're going to go inside, then they'll stretch hose and go inside, or they'll choose to. If the building's too far gone, they think it's not safe enough, then they'll fight a defensive fire.
Okay.
Just kind of basic. And then they can also determine we do a 360 around the building to look for fire extension, ways in and ways out in case something happens.
Okay. And I know you name the different directions, the different
sides.
Yes.
Alpha is always usually the street side, the front of the building.
Okay.
Going clockwise, then we go Bravo, Charlie, and Delta.
Okay.
Is the right side of the house or building.
Right. Okay.
Then a lot of times we'll assign a group of firefighters to take command of that side of the building. Or if it's multiple levels, we'll assign a different crew to each level.
And somebody's responsible for checking in with the incident commander at all times, correct? To make sure. Yeah. And does the incident commander go inside or does he stay on the outside?
he stays outside, and a lot of times they'll have an operations officer that will go inside, or another captain or another battalion chief will go
Mm-hmm.
inside and command. They'll work the fire from inside and give the IC what
Right.
tell him what's going on.
So it sounds like, I mean, I've seen where there's a lot of different firefighters on a specific fire. So it sounds like, depending on the extent of it, you might have what, 10, 15, 20 guys out there, or gals too?
Oh yeah, yeah, at least. Especially on a rural department, it's not uncommon, especially in the spring and the fall, to have 7 or 8 departments come to have enough
Mm-hmm.
people to fight the fire.
Right.
At the Unity Building fire, we had 3 6-story office buildings on fire at the
Oh,
same time.
wow.
It was a 25 alarm fire. We had 250 plus firefighters on scene, and another 250 or 300 behind the scenes on standby and manning other stations and
How long
answering.
did, sorry,
Oh no, and no answering other calls. But we were on scene. The call came in to dispatch at 11:30
at night?
at night,
Okay.
July 3rd, 1988. And Engine One from headquarters, Bloomington headquarters, responded. It's like 3 blocks from there, and they knew they had the middle building was fully involved, so they knew they were in trouble.
Yeah.
So we got the call, and we were on scene by quarter till 12,
Okay.
and from 12 midnight till 7 o'clock in the morning, they sprayed 600,000 gallons an hour on these 3 buildings.
Wow. And
The
did you
middle,
finally get them out, or did you just get them, what, what was
yeah,
the,
we did. Even probably 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, we still had fire showing from the Unity building, the building that was on the corner.
uh-huh. Wow.
We backed out a couple different times. The water was overflowing through the windowsills and down the side of the building.
Wow. Did they ever discover what the cause was?
Actually, it did. It took them about a week, but they think the wires around the old boiler in the middle building caused the fire, and it had been burning a while before anyone discovered it.
Wow. 250 firefighters. That's a lot of people to keep track of.
Yeah, we had each building had its own command. Then
Yeah.
Bloomington was overall incident commander. We had Chief Cermak from Normal
Hmm.
was in, he was in command of some of the fires.
And you said you joined in 1979, and when was the fire?
This was July 3rd of 1988.
Okay, so you'd been a firefighter for a while. This wasn't like a first call
Right.
or anything like that. I mean, that would have been kind of a rough one to be on as a
That would have been
probie,
a rough
right?
one for a rookie.
Yeah. Learn a lot fast.
Yes, you do.
Anything else you want to say, Ken? I mean, this has been amazing. I'm sure people are going to have questions, and if they do, they can leave them in. This is going to be posted on YouTube, so if you have questions for Ken, make sure you ask them, and I will, get a hold of him to get some answers. And also, I'm going to put this up again. The Authors Fire and Rescue Facebook group. In the description for the video will be the actual link, but you can look for it if you go on Facebook and look for Authors Fire and Rescue. And like I said, I'm sure Ken would be more than happy to have a few more people join.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
and they're really good about it. There's no stupid questions. I know I've asked a couple of weird questions, and other people have been like, I kind of have a weird question, but every question is important.
We've had some good ones. The only dumb question's the one that's not asked. So
Yeah, definitely.
it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of it's been a great honor working with authors such as yourself and Catherine Shea and them.
Mm-hmm. And you have first responders from all over the world. So if someone's writing a book based in the UK or Australia, I mean, you've got people that can answer questions, don't you?
Yes, we do.
Which is awesome. And I know you have someone in there that was actually at 9/11, and
Yes, he was a
he,
fire chief in New Jersey.
yeah, and he posts pictures that he painted afterwards, which are very, very poignant. And
It was amazing. And
yeah, yeah, and it's a way that he deals with the pain that he saw that day. So it's a wonderful group of people. There's some conversations that are so funny. It's terrible just talking about odd calls and things like that. But there's a lot of really, really, really valuable information. And as a writer, I want to say thank you for putting the group together and providing a resource for all of us to go and ask the questions that we're too afraid to Google.
well, thank you. It's been fun. It's a good group.
It is. So thank you, Ken, for being my guest today. And we'll talk soon.
Thanks, John.